So we are going to revisit the story so far as a part of that. Is we have done 7 videos or 7 sessions so far, which are in the form of videos available on the Way to Wellness channel, of the power of personal achievement, which is based on a training by Brian Tracy. So the first thing we looked at is the 7 ingredients for success. So the 7 ingredients for success: 1, peace of mind. As we saw at that time, the peace of mind, many people think that peace of mind is like an ultimate goal to be achieved. As Sadhguru also keeps saying, peace of mind is the most fundamental requirement. It's not the ultimate. Health and energy. You need fantastic and boundless energy, which is a basic requirement if you want to live a fully intense life. That's like a basic requirement. Loving relationships. There's a lot we spoke about in the loving relationships context, but one of the key things is that lots of laughter can lead to good health. And then there is financial freedom, of course. All of us together are in this journey for financial freedom. Remember that financial freedom is not just about money, it is also about time. So financial freedom also gives you time freedom. Having worthy goals and ideals. Having worthy goals and ideals give a sense of meaning and purpose to your life. We are, as you can see, we are kind of moving in each of these ingredients. We are moving to a higher and higher level. The next aspect, very important, is self-knowledge and self-understanding. So there is a Harvard study which identifies this requirement of self-knowledge and self-understanding as a foundational intelligence for great success in life. And personal fulfillment and self-actualization. Those of us who have done or studied anything about economics, as Maslow spoke about, Maslow spoke of personal fulfillment and self-actualization in particular as the ultimate aim of life. So Brian Tracy says these are the 7 basic ingredients required for success. And personal fulfillment and self-actualization, if you want to experience unlimited inner growth and happiness, that is like the ultimate. The next thing that we looked at, okay, the key to success. So there is a very beautiful and simple formula that Brian Tracy spoke about. Key to success, results is the equal to, the results that you get is equal to U into E. What is U? U is the amount of understanding. So understanding is at multiple levels, and I would look at it as, in the scope of, a personal development, continuous personal development. So understanding yourself, understanding the world, and this step of understanding is a part of reprogramming ourselves. We have spoken about the requirement of why we need to reprogram ourselves from the way our present mindset is to a different mindset. So this understanding process takes time. On the other thing we are multiplying is E, which is effort. So just understanding will not help. If you want success, you have to put in the necessary effort also. And there is no escaping the effort. So it's a combination of understanding and effort which gives us the results. The next thing we spoke about is the 7 truths about you. 1, you are a thoroughly good person in every way. The catch with us is that we keep doubting ourselves all the time. That, oh, I'm not capable, I'm not good enough, this is not okay with me, whatever. There are all these doubts that we keep having. Remember that inherently, we need to look at ourselves as inherently good and perfect. Remember, this is very, very, very powerful. Please look at it carefully. We have more potential than you can use in 100 lifetimes. The amount of potential we have and what we are utilizing is a minuscule amount of what is possible, or what is possible for us. So you can never ever use up all the potential you have. The beauty of this is that the more the potential you use, the more becomes available. So look at how to increase the amount of potential that you can utilize. Next, you have the ability to be, do, and have more than ever before. we so far, whatever we have achieved so far, whatever you may have achieved so far, is just a shadow of what is truly possible for you. Okay. I can now see this much more clearly as the days have gone by and the weeks have gone by from when we last spoke about this. So remember that our ability to do, be, and have is much more than what we presently have. Next, you can learn anything you need to learn to achieve any goal that you set for yourself. For many of us, this all these things we're talking about may seem like, oh my God, is it really possible? But I am completely reassuring you that this is true. In my personal experience, I can see the amount of growth that is happening now. The pace of growth is like much faster than what it ever was. So you can learn anything you need to learn and achieve any goal that you can set for yourself. So to achieve something that you have never achieved before, the requirement is this: you can't be the same person you are and achieve something different. That means you can't keep doing the same things and achieve something different. So you must become someone you have never been before to achieve something completely new. And this is what Les Brown said. And what Brian Tracy says is, you must learn something that you have never learned before. And I would also add that you also need to do things that you may have never done before. So the point is that if we are willing to become self-learners, if we are willing to embark on a journey of self-discovery and self-learning, this is very much possible. Remember that every successful person today was once a failure. Okay. It's not that they were born with success. Okay. All the people who are successful started at the bottom 10%, and today they may have reached 80, 90, 100%. They set specific goals for themselves and they did things differently. This is the key thing. From everybody else, from an average person, they did things differently and then their life changed. So every successful person today started once as a failure, started at the bottom. So never allow yourself to be held back because of the absence of a knowledge or skill. Okay. Remember, as we said earlier, all knowledge and all skills are learnable. Okay. All money making skills and success skills are also learnable. Okay. And anybody who knows it today, there was a point in time when he did not know it. So it's not that today everybody, whoever has the knowledge, they already knew it. They never knew it at certain point in time, they've learned it. Same way, we can also make it happen for ourselves. Okay. Your life only gets better when you get better. See, this is something that for many of us, we are not able to see it, that it is the inner world that is reflecting in the outer world. So unless and until we are willing to change our inner world, we cannot bring the change that we are expecting in the outer world. Unfortunately, people want their lives to get better on the outside, but do not want to improve themselves. If you first have to manage your inside, and you will automatically manage your outside. Next, it does not matter where you're coming from. All that matters is where are you going. So in other words, whatever has happened in the past, see, most of us, again, we are stuck because of regrets, because of what happened, this happened, that happened, my life was like this. It does not matter. Right now you can start, and where you are going is the only thing that matters. If you shift your focus to how are you going to do it, what is the opportunity, what am I going to do about it, you will find that results will start happening. So it does not matter where you're coming from, all that matters is where you're going. So the most important thing, take a decision that you want to change your life. Unfortunately, most people do not take this one decisive thing, that they want to change their life. Remember, eliminate from your life this if only. If only this had happened. If only I had better parents. If only I had a better job. If only I had better opportunities. Eliminate if only from your life. And the last one, the seventh truth about you. The only limit on what you can accomplish is the limit that you are placing on yourself by your own thinking. In other words, there is no limit to what you can accomplish. Just change your thinking and everything will change for you. So remember that successful people have a very different thinking. So all you need for your success is change your mindset. Changing your mindset is all that is required. I'm again repeating, the only limit on what you can accomplish is the limit that you place on yourself by your own thinking. So it is most important to realize that you have everything you need within you right now. It's there already within us to achieve everything you could possibly dream of in life. The important thing is that people who are successful, they are action oriented, they take action. That is the difference. The 7 mental laws, if you recollect, we went through these mental laws. They are extremely powerful, and these days this mental laws is the thing that I am working with. And I mean, the whole experience is very beautiful for me. So let's look at the 7 mental laws. Before that, how do these mental laws work? No law is ever invented, they are only discovered first. Mental laws cannot be seen. See, unlike physical law, like gravity, you can actually experience it physically, but a mental law cannot be seen. Okay, you can only see it out of the results that you will experience over a period of time. And remember,
Only when I'm supposed to unmute, I'll tell you.
and remember that the mental laws work 100% of the time. Okay, it's not so. Therefore, ignorance of the law will not prevent it from working. So it's like, you know, even in our law, they say that ignorance of the law is not an excuse for breaking the law, right? So here, whether you choose to break the law, whatever you do, the law will work. Whether you like it, don't like it, the law will work. And the laws are neutral. In other words, one is whether you like it or don't like it, it will work. The second thing is, see, all successful people are in harmonic convergence with the mental laws. When we say the laws are neutral, what it means is that if you do things in the reverse direction, what will happen to you will also happen in the reverse direction, because the law is neutral. The law is indifferent. It will just work the way it is. So now let's look at the laws one by one. The law of control. You feel positive about yourself to the degree to which you feel you are in control of your life. And conversely, you feel negative about yourself to the degree to which you feel you are not in control of your life. Second, the law of accident. You know, this is exactly opposite of the law of control. And unfortunately, majority of the people live by this law. Okay. How they look at it is that everything is just happening by accident. So their life, their experience of life is as if they are victims, right? Because everything is happening by accident. 80% of the population, unfortunately, lives by this law. And when you see that everything is happening by accident, you believe that you are a victim. Now, law of cause and effect. For every specific effect in your life, there is a cause. Whether you know the cause or don't know the cause, there is a cause. So therefore, success is also not accidental. And they say that this is the iron law of the universe, or it's called the umbrella law. In our Indian context, we call it the karma. Okay. So there is a cause and effect process continuously at work. So the extent to which we can align it is the most effective way. So the most important application in our context, if you want to look at it, is that the thoughts are the causes and the conditions in your life are the effect. So the way you think, the way you speak, what you speak, all that actually impacts the results that come. So, before something, whether it is negative or whether it is positive, before it actually manifests itself, there have been multiple stages before that where the first a certain thought came to somebody's mind, then they kept thinking over it again and again and again, then they spoke about it to somebody, and in course of time, it actually got affected. Okay. So therefore, thoughts are the causes and the conditions that you experience in your life are the effects. The law of belief, it's connected, to the other laws in various ways, but the law of belief is foundational in all religions. It's the beauty of it is like this. What you believe with a feeling will become a reality. That means when you attach your emotion to something that you believe, it will actually start manifesting itself. Now, there are two types of beliefs, some things that you're consciously believing, some things that you may not even be conscious that you're believing. Okay. And the particularly these unconscious ones, there are these things called the blind spots. Okay. Now, what is the blind spot? Once you decide to believe something, you will not see anything that contradicts it, because in your eyes, everything that will appear will be in consonance with what you believe. I can give you an example in a physical, in a very different context in a physical life. See, for example, suppose you have decided that you want to buy a red colored car. Okay. You've just decided, or let us say a particular brand or a particular model of a car. You will be surprised that then onwards, none of the other cars will come into your eyes. But when you're driving on the road, this car will keep popping up, or this color will keep popping up. I am experiencing it right now because we just decided that we want to, change a car and we want to buy another car. And that particular model car, I'm just suddenly noticing it all over the place. None of the other cars I'm noticing. It's surprising. Okay, so remember that once you decide to believe something, you do not see anything else that contradicts it. Anything that contradicts it, you will not see. So the catch in this is this, that these blind spots, first of all, you don't know. And the worst part is you don't know that you don't know. And therefore, if you want to get out of a blind spot, you need somebody else to point it out to you, which is why they talk of having a mentor or a guru and all that, because these blind spots, you cannot see it by yourself because you don't even know that it exists, right? And one of the biggest of obstacles that people face with this law of beliefs, is that self-limiting beliefs. That means you believe certain things about yourself, and those beliefs are all very limiting. That, oh, I can only do this much. I cannot speak on the stage. I cannot do this. I am only like this. So many people say, that, oh, I am not a person who can go and talk to people. I don't have an ability to convince others, whatever it may be. Okay. This self-limiting belief can become the biggest obstacle in your life. So be watchful of it. Law of expectations. Your expectation about the outcome becomes self-fulfilling prophecies. Indirectly connected to the belief, law of belief, what you expect as the way it will happen, you'll see that, oh my God, it's happening like that. And that's because you already have an expectation about it. Now, the best part of this expectation is that it is 100% in your control. So therefore, look at the beauty of it. You can manufacture your own expectations, create expectations which are aligned with what is it that you want in life. Create those expectations, and anyway, they will become self-fulfilling prophecies. So generate confident, positive expectations for yourself. And always expect the best. It's the most unfortunate thing that can happen is that you set a very low standard and you will achieve them also. It's so unfortunate. So it is fantastic. You can set your expectation at the sky. Okay. Like Sadhguru says, that you aim for the sky and you will at least shoot the roof. If you aim at the roof, you will end up shooting your own foot. So always expect the best. Okay. Set very high expectations for yourself and for others. Say it to yourself with confidence. I believe that something wonderful is going to happen to me today. It's such a beautiful and such a positive statement, that I believe that something wonderful is going to happen to me today. Right. The law of attraction. Oh my God, this is like a very, very potent, like a bomb it is. Okay. And unless we bring self-awareness to our life, please be clear that you may be attracting the things that you do not want in your life. Right. So please start getting conscious, because the law of, whether you like it or not, this law of attraction works as all other laws work. So you are a living magnet. You attract into your life everything that is in harmony with your dominant thought. So, it's not that any thought starts fructifying. It is the dominant thought that fructifies. So look at what is your dominant thought. Start getting conscious about what are your dominant thoughts, right? And these dominant thoughts, whatever it is, nature will harmonize it and you will start attracting it into your life. whether it is people, circumstances, ideas, money, resources. So the beauty of this is that if you choose to make positive, that means things that you want, whether, like, for example, in the context of our Industry business, okay, if you start visualizing that you're creating a perfect and fantastic team under you, okay, there's a whole set of beautiful and, energetic and extremely active people who are becoming a part of your team, right? If you visualize that you're, reaching out this, the formulations that we have to more and more people, and it's making a difference to the life of other people, whatever is your dominant thought, it will start getting fructified, and those kind of people and situations and everything else will start aligning itself. Remember, it's a neutral law. As I said, it is neutral, and therefore, if you think negative thoughts, you will start attracting those kind of people and those kind of situations. So therefore, please start becoming aware of what your thoughts are. This particular law of attraction is the basis of this book called The Secret, which has become very, very popular, and I'm sure many of you may have read it also. So within the law of attraction also, there is a, the opposite of it, which is the law of repulsion, which is, if you hold negative thoughts, then you repel those aspects out of your life. Let's look at some examples. Suppose you are criticizing successful people. You say that, oh, this guy, he made it big because he was a fraud, or, he cheated, or whatever you may think, right? If you start criticizing successful people, effectively, you are also driving success out of your own life. Okay. So what is the thing? See, anybody that you take, anybody, any situation in your life, right? There will always be something positive. There will also be something negative, right? There is, like, if you know the yin yang theory, okay, the beauty of that yin yang is, inside the white there is also a black spot, inside the black portion there is also a white spot. So the yin yang, just like the yin yang theory, in every person or in every situation, there is a positive, there is also a negative. So stop looking for the negatives, because we tend to, unfortunately, our mind, our conscious mind is designed for survival. Okay. So what it will do is, it will look only for what is not okay, because it wants to ensure that you survive. Focus on what is wonderful about the people around you. So admire the people who are enjoying success that you desire, because that's the way you want the Lord to work for you. Before I go ahead, in case it disconnects, it will disconnect in another 10 minutes. If it disconnects, please reconnect. So the law of attraction has got other subsidiary laws. One is the law of vibration, that all things are vibrating outward of you. So see, this whole law of vibration, we can, in physical terms, we can actually relate to it, because in physics, they actually say that all the matter that we see is actually only vibration. There is no matter as a solid thing that we are experiencing. So this thing about vibration, they say in the mental space also, they refer to a law of vibration. The more emotion that you attach to a thought, the greater is the intensity of vibration. So remember that if you are attaching emotion to a negative thought, you are automatically increasing the vibration of that negative thought also. So therefore, get conscious, shift your thoughts to what is positive, and attach your emotion to it. Such a beautiful and simple method to bring success to your life. Law of radiation. It's like from yourself outside, like, like you drop a stone in a still water, you see those ripples going out. Everything radiates outward in ripples, like the ripples of a pond. Then there is the law of sympathetic resonance, again connected to the law of attraction. We often resonate with others on ideas, subjects, and conversations. So, they say, no, that birds of a feather flock together, right? So depending on how our mindset is, we are also attracting those kind of people and situations around us. So therefore, to be successful, you can do the converse. Start resonating with successful people, and automatically you're also attracting success towards you. There is, in the context of the law of repulsion, if you hold negative thoughts, you repel. Oh, I'm sorry, this slide has got repeated. Yes. So there is the seventh and the final law is the law of correspondence. as within, so without. Your outward world is a mirror. Okay, it's like you're just seeing a mirror. Whatever you're seeing outside is just like a mirror. It's reflecting what is going on in your inner world. Okay, the way we are inside is reflected in our relationships, every area of our life. Our attitude towards money is reflected in your financial situation, right? Our attitude towards fitness and food is reflected in your health. Okay, so if you are seeing that there is a problem on the outside, first shift your focus inside and check if there is some correction required inside of you. There's a every chance that inside you there is a correction required, and if you identify it and correct it and shift it, outside things will start changing. This law of correspondence, there is a beautiful way that you can utilize it. How do you utilize it? Create within yourself the mental equivalent of what you wish to enjoy on the outside. How do you do that? Write down your dreams. Okay, and when we say dreams, we will look at it in the course of the coming weeks. Bring clarity to your dreams. Okay, those dreams, you convert them into goals. How do you convert them into goals? You add dates, you add figures, you add numbers to them, right? And bring as much clarity. It could be in the form of, like a visual representation. It can be in the form of numbers, dates. You bring as much detail and clarity as possible. So write down your dreams, convert them into goals, and visualize your goals and dreams on a daily basis. Those of you who have been listening to the New Rich Environment synopsis that I am sending out every morning, okay, you will realize that this visualization of dreams, talking of dreams and goals first, and visualizing them is an almost regular thing we discuss. I am inviting each one of you to utilize this morning audio clip that I'm sending out. Listen to it in the morning. Just listen to it. You don't, don't have to, even like if you're finding it difficult to take notes and all, it doesn't matter. Just listen to it, and just that listening and with attention. Okay, just listen to it with attention, and you will find that your whole day will go completely differently. Start implementing those things. So visualize your dreams 3 times a day: morning, afternoon, evening. 3 times a day, find your time, visualize your dreams and goals. How do you visualize them? You visualize them as if they are already real now, as if they are a reality, as if they are already achieved. The greater the vividness with which you see it from the inside, the faster will it become a reality on the outside. Okay, there is something that's missing. Okay, so as we said, I'm saying create within yourself the mental equivalent of what you wish to enjoy on the outside. So what did we say? We said first, write down your goals, convert them into write down your dreams in vivid detail, convert it into a goal with dates and all that. Next step, think about it. Keep thinking about it on a daily basis. Create a plan for executing it. So you break it down into short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals, right? And that short-term goal, you break it down to a weekly goal, and that in turn to a daily to-do list. And then take action on a daily basis with those to-do lists. One. Second, be on a continuous self-improvement program. Keep improving yourself continuously. If you align yourself with all this, nature will take care of the rest. Okay, it's just unbelievable how things will start aligning themselves. Okay, I want to invite each one of you to actually put them into practice in your life. So it is most important to realize that once you are in harmonic convergence with the mental laws, okay, positive things will start happening at a very rapid rate. Align yourself with the mental laws. Align yourself in a positive way, right? And you will see that positive things will start happening in your life, and that too very fast. Okay, so unlocking your potential. So there is a very beautiful formula for human potential. Okay, So individual human potential is equal to IA plus AA into A. We'll look at each of these, what it means. IA is inborn attributes. So it is a sum of inborn attributes plus you're multiplying acquired attributes with attitude. So the combination of inborn attributes added to a product of acquired attributes into attitude. So you have a fantastic attitude, multiply that with acquired attributes, and you add your inborn attributes, and you have a fantastic human potential available. So now there are very interesting points to note in each of these. So let's look at it. See, this inborn attributes, you can only discover them. It's inborn, okay, whatever you already have. And what you can do is to how can you develop it to the highest level is what you can explore. The acquired attributes is something that are skills that you can pick up. Okay, it's not something that you're born with, it is things that you can pick up along your journey. And there is, as we have seen earlier, there is no limit to what you can pick up. The sky is the limit. So these are skills, abilities, talent, knowledge, education, experience that you acquire over a period of time, right? And attitude is how you are. We will look at attitude in more detail. This attitude is the most important aspect, and unfortunately, we tend to overlook this. Okay. The point is that whatever acquired attributes you collect, whatever skills you pick up, it gets compounded or multiplied by how fantastic an attitude you have. And therefore, the more positive your attitude, the greater will be the impact of whatever skill you pick up. Now, this inborn abilities are largely fixed. You don't have much control over it. Acquired attributes will slowly change over time because it is a skill building. But this attitude is something that you can change in one instant. You take a decision that you want to change your attitude to a positive attitude, make a conscious decision today, and you can change it. And I'm inviting each one of you to change your attitude to just becoming completely a positive person. Just burst with positivity. Okay, you'll find that whatever you already have will start working in a very different way, right? So the beauty of that attitude is that it can be instantly changed, right? So simply change how you think about things, and things will start changing around you, right? So, so, um, so we will look at something called the self-concept. Now, this self-concept is actually the end result. You are having a certain attitude. Okay. So it's like this, that there is a self-concept that you have about yourself, right? This self-concept leads to the beliefs and values that you hold. Those beliefs and values exude certain expectations that you have in your life, and those expectations become the attitude that you have, right? So when we are saying you want to change your attitude, you work backwards and change your expectations. We looked at the law of expectation, we looked at the law of belief. These are things that you can consciously change. And in the process of changing all this, your self-concept, how do you look at yourself, can be changed. So let us look at the self-concept in more detail. Now, you cannot act inconsistent with your self-concept. This is a very fundamental thing. However you see yourself, okay, you cannot act inconsistent with it, right? So you cannot act outside of it, or you cannot act differently from it. Okay, if you try to do that, you will suffer. That means you will be forcing yourself to do something that you are not inherently you are not, right? So therefore, the self-concept precedes and predicts how you perform, what you do, how effective you are. This self-concept is what is deciding everything, right? If you see this clearly enough, let us look at what are the various other components to self-concept. This self-concept consists of three things. One is your self-ideal, another is your self-image, and third is your self-esteem. The combination of these three is what forms your self-concept. Okay, so now let's look at each of these. Your self-ideal. Your self-ideal is your idea of what constitutes a winner. Okay. Now, I am not going into the detail of it. If you want to look at it in detail, please go back to the detailed videos that are there on the Way to Wellness YouTube channel. So qualities in other people that you admire are the qualities that you would like yourself to have, right? And that is your self ideal, the ideal that you would like to become of yourself. What is your self image? The self image is how you see yourself or think about yourself right now. This self image and the self ideal may not necessarily match, right? Right now, you may see yourself or think about yourself in a particular way. The way you see yourself inside is the way you're going to perform on your outside world. Okay. And therefore, you must be conscious of what is your self image and the self esteem, how you feel about yourself. One is how you think about yourself or how you see yourself. This is how you are feeling about yourself, right? The best definition is, or very simply put, how much do you like yourself is your self esteem. Very, very simply put, right? So remember that self esteem can be built up by repeating. This is Brian Tracy's mantra, repeating over and over again, I like myself. I like myself, right? He says that you can very, very easily and simply build your self esteem. You cannot say, I like myself and have a negative thought at the same time, right? So, what I like myself does is that it cancels out any negativity in any unpleasant situation. So, this is like a very powerful tool that you can use in any uncomfortable situation or any, difficult situation that you are in, right? And remember that the self-esteem is the determinant of your success and happiness in life. So therefore, that self-esteem is very critical, and improving your self-esteem is very, very, very essential. Remember that we are born as pure potential. We may not, some of us may not just accept it on its face value. But this is a fact. Just look at what we are going to say. When do you feel most in control of your life? When you are completely unafraid, that is, you are fearless, you feel most in control, right? That means you have an attitude that I can, whatever it is, I can do this, I can do this. You have this thing, you feel in control. Second, when do you feel in control? You feel in control when you are uninhibited or you are spontaneous. You are naturally just able to go out and do things, right? In other words, the attitude is, I don't have to. That means you don't have to be in any particular way. You have that flexibility to just express yourself whichever way is required, right? And that when these two combination of fearlessness and spontaneity is available, you will experience that you are in full control of your life. Okay. Now, this is connected to two negative habit patterns, and these negative habit patterns are something that we pick up right from our childhood. Okay, it is not something that we have we have unconsciously done it, but it is parents are involved, other people around us are involved. So let's look at them. The first negative habit pattern is an inhibitive negative habit pattern. What is it? The feeling that I can't. Okay, you feel small, unconfident, and incapable. Please refer back to the original video where we have done in detail why this happens. How do you end up with this feeling of I can't? Please refer back to it. Okay. But the feeling of feeling small, unconfident, and incapable, that I can't. So, what does it lead to as an adult? This I can't attitude as an adult will lead to a fear of failure. That means you are just scared to try anything simply because you are fearing that, oh, it will fail. Right. Second, taking a risk is traumatic. This is how in an adult life you will experience this inhibitive negative habit pattern. And the interesting thing is that this inhibitive habit pattern expresses itself in our body. So in the front side of the body, these are the typical things that people experience when they experience this I can't, or fear of failure is there. Headache, throat drying up, heart beating faster, choking in the solar plexus, stomach ache, urge to urinate. Okay, and phlebitis. Phlebitis is like some kind of inflammation in the veins in the legs. Okay, this is the way it manifests in the front side of the body. All these things manifest. The second habit pattern is a compulsive negative habit pattern. This is also developed as a child in the feeling that I have to. What is this I have to? See, as children, parents use this thing of giving conditional love. They will kind of say, if you don't do this, I will do this. Or if you do this, I will give you this. That carrot and stick thing, they do it with the child. So what happens is the child grows up with the feeling that, oh, I have to keep pleasing my parents, right? As an adult, this I have to results in hypersensitivity to opinions of others, right? You just look at it. If you are sensitive about what other people think, it is linked to this feeling of a compulsive habit pattern that I have to. And there is something they call a type A behavior. You can look up on the net. We have also done it in detail in that the previous video. So this is something that in a job situation, you will find people who are obsessed with pleasing their boss. Okay, that is what is called a type A behavior. There are other features to the type A behavior. This is one of them. So this type A behavior is another thing that is the result of a compulsive habit pattern, right? And this results in things at the back of the body, like a headache at the back of the neck, stiffness in the back, low backache, constipation, and phlebitis. Okay, now think of a situation like this. That this is the worst situation that one can have. You have a combination of I can't, which is a fear of failure, and you have a fear of rejection, disapproval, and criticism. I have to. That means your front and the back, the root of all psychosomatic ailments is lying over here. If you can see this clearly enough, that fear of failure and fear of rejection, a combination of this is causing all the kind of problems that you are experiencing in your life, psychosomatic problems. You have an opportunity to change it if you wish to. You can choose to change it. Okay. So how do you change it? How to unlock your potential? So there is this, fear of failure and fear of rejection is high. Brian Tracy's beautiful thing is just boost up your self-esteem. How to boost your self-esteem? I like myself. I like myself. I like myself. I like myself. You know, it boosts up your self-esteem. And in the process of self-esteem getting boosted up, fear of failure and fear of rejection will start coming down. Right. So look at these statements. They are very, very powerful statements in the context of failure. If I face failure, it does not mean that I am a failure. It just means that the things didn't work out. That's all. That's all it is. Right. There is no such thing as a failure. There is only a feedback. Certain powerful attitudes to have towards failure. Obstacles are not there to obstruct. They are there to instruct. Okay. It's a powerful way to look at any failure, right? These are the thoughts of a self-actualized person. A self-actualized person, a person who's very high in self-esteem, will never look at failure as a problem. He will look at failure as an opportunity. So there is this book that has been written called You Are Not the Target. This is written by the granddaughter of Aldous Huxley. And what she says is this. The title itself is You Are Not the Target. So it says a practical manual of how to cope with a world of bewildering change. Okay. So it says if someone rejects something you offer, they are rejecting your offer. They are not rejecting you. Okay. And it is their problem. It is not yours. Okay. This thing for all of us who are particularly in this our industry opportunity, when we are offering the business opportunity or when we are offering the product to people, you will experience hundreds of failure. If you have not experienced hundreds of failure, you cannot grow, because only when you cross the what shall I say, the chasm of failure, will you see success on the other side. And as you are experiencing failure, remember that someone is rejecting you. They are only rejecting the offer. They are not rejecting you. And by rejecting the offer, it is their problem. It is not your problem. Just remember this. So repeatedly saying unlike myself, when you wake up in the morning, when you look at yourself in the mirror, when you're about to enter a business meeting, okay, at every opportunity, look at giving yourself positive statements or positive feedback. Okay, tell your children what wonderful people they are, right? Right from childhood, build their self-image, their self-concept, and their self-esteem. So repeating I like myself will help to reinforce it until you reach a point that you are fearless and unstoppable. So the secret to being fearless and unstoppable is to build your self-esteem. Now, the subconscious powerhouse. Our mind, as all of us know, there is the conscious and the subconscious. Now, this conscious mind, it's very objective, it's, skeptical, unemotional, it's rational, it just counts numbers and figures. It's very discriminating. It chooses between this and the other, good, bad, pretty, ugly, big, small, etc. And it identifies, compares, analyzes, decides. It's a very, very logical process, the conscious mind. On the other hand, look at the size difference. Okay, the conscious mind is there, and below is the subconscious mind. This subconscious mind is like a basketball under a golf ball. That is what is the size of the subconscious mind. And second, it works 30,000 times faster than your conscious mind. Remember always that your subconscious mind is hugely powerful, right? It is a massive data bank of anything and everything that's happened in your life. It stores and retrieves the data. And the difference about that is it unquestioningly, unhesitatingly, and without deviation will just follow instructions. Therefore, another analogy, beautiful analogies of a garden, right? It is like the conscious mind will command and the subconscious mind will obey. It's like the conscious mind is the gardener and the subconscious mind is the garden. So you can have either flowers growing in your garden, or if you don't grow anything, weeds will anyway grow. Therefore, it is very important that you're tending your garden so that there is things that you want will grow. So are you planting very positive, clear, and constructive thoughts? Please check, because the subconscious mind is acting on every single thing that you are thinking about, the instructions that you're giving. Right. So if your conscious mind, if you do not plant clear, goal-oriented, positive thoughts, weeds will grow and they will preoccupy us, right? Fear, doubt, anxiety, frustration, anger, all these things will happen if you do not consciously create clear, goal-oriented, positive thoughts, right? That is the reason why most of us are experiencing breakdowns in our life. See, it's like this. It's like a weighing scale, right? The negativity is the default mode. If you do nothing, negativity will anyway happen. For being positive, you have to do a lot of work. And that conscious work is what I'm inviting each of you to do, right? Now, the subconscious mind does not know the difference between a real event and an imagined event. That's the beauty of it. So therefore, you can transform your subconscious mind by taking one success experience. Remember, whether it is real or imagined does not matter, but just take a success experience and replay it in your mind. Each replay is taken as a new event. And if you do not have a success experience till now, no problem. Create one in your mind. That is the way we are doing with our dreams and goals. It is not a reality as of today, but we are creating it and we are replaying it again and again and again. What we are doing is we are programming our subconscious mind. That's what we are doing. Right. It is like, you are directing the movie of your life. In your own mental movie of your life, you get to be the star, scriptwriter, cinematographer, director, everything. You are one person. You have the complete freedom to do it. So create a mental picture exactly the way it would work out as if it was perfect, right? And this is something that you can do. Use your imagination, do it. The subconscious mind will accept it not only as a real experience, it will accept it as a command to act on it. Okay. So therefore, it will do everything possible to repeat those experiences. This is how the visualization works. This is why if you systematically keep doing visualization, that means first have a clarity about what is your dreams and goals, and you repeatedly visualize it, you will find that it will start actually happening in life because of this. If you are 100% committed to your goals and keep dwelling on it, okay, that is, you keep dwelling on your goals, the subconscious mind will allocate more and more space for that goal, right? So thinking about your goal will actually make you feel happier, more confident. And if you have a big goal, what happens? It raises your self-image, it raises your self-esteem, and makes you, you like yourself even more. That means self, uh, your self-confidence, everything shoots up. So the key to unlock your mental power is this: take purposeful, systematic control of your conscious mind. Okay, think and talk only. I'm repeating: think and talk only of the things you want. Do not think and talk of the things that you do not want. Please remember this. Think of what you want. Don't think of what you don't want. Talk of what you want. Don't talk of what you do not want. Okay. And repeat over and over positive statements like, I like myself. The subconscious mind is very, very, very powerful. As we have seen, it operates very quickly 30,000 times faster than your conscious mind. So once you are pre-programmed for success, success will start happening again and again and again. And that is a simple secret. So, we've been discussing of the Pareto principle, where we said that 80% of your results are coming from 20% of your activities, and 80% of your activities are resulting only in 20% of your results. So what is that 20% activity which can give you 80% results? One of that 20% activity is programming your subconscious mind. How? Visualizing, having clarity on the dreams and goals, and visualizing it on a regular basis. A very simple, seemingly simple thing. Just bring it into your life 3 times a day, and you will start seeing magic happen. Right. So taking charge of your life, how to take charge of your life? As we have said, write down your goals. You have talked about it earlier. We are again talking about it now, because it is a psycho-neuromotor activity. At multiple levels, it works. It's like as you are writing it, you're also seeing it and you're also verbalizing it in your mind, right? And effectively, you're writing it into your subconscious mind. In the process of doing this, writing down your goals, you're activating the law of attraction, law of correspondence, law of belief, law of change and effect, cause and effect. Everything you're activating, right? Just think of it. Suppose you did this, right? To wrote down your goals and you followed your visualization. Suppose you did this systematically. What if this worked for you? Wouldn't your life be fantastic? Why not try it out? So, see, there is this huge chasm between immaturity and maturity, right? This immaturity is like, we are just stuck in our childlike mentality because we are just dependent on approval for others, which is like approval from adults, parents, this, that, right? And maturity is that you become an adult, right? And in between this immaturity and maturity is this valley of excuses, right? You will have fantastic reasons why you cannot do what uh, what you say you cannot do, why your situation is like this. You will have excuses. What you have to do is to take this big leap from immaturity to maturity. You can't do it in installments. You just have to take one big jump, right? Just take that jump. And once you take the jump, there is no going back. Take total responsibility for your life. It is hugely empowering. If you decide to take this jump, it is hugely empowering and exhilarating, and it will liberate you. So you may have heard of this disease called excusitis, right? Once you start making excuses, right? Once you start making excuses, you get stuck in this value of excuses. And remember, this value of excuses is fatal to success. It is the only reason that you're not succeeding, because you're making excuses. And when some change is needed in your life, you go to someday I'll. What is someday I'll? Someday I will do it. Tomorrow I will do it. That, when that thing is perfect, when my money is perfect, when my life is perfect, that day I'm going to do it. You just postpone it. This is procrastination. Someday I will exercise and lose weight. Someday I will improve my relationship, or someday I will take the steps to change my life. You will never find a leader making excuses, right? So Mark Twain has said there are 1,000 excuses for a failure, but never a good reason. So take total responsibility for your life. Okay. What is taking total responsibility? No more going to this isle of someday. Someday island go, no more going, right? Leap across this valley of excuses, right? Transition to adulthood and never go back there. It is scary, and that is why most people do not do it. But once you do that, it is exhilarating and empowering, that I am in charge of my life. So there is a direct link between responsibility and self-esteem. The more responsibility you take for your life, the more you will like yourself, the more powerful you feel. But the more you blame others for your problems, the less you like yourself and the weaker you will feel, right? And obviously lower the self-esteem and self-confidence. So obviously lower is the potential for you to do anything in your life. So the more responsibility you take, the more control you experience, and end result is you will experience more freedom. Right. So take a decision today. I am fully responsible for my life. Right. The way it is and the way it is not, I am fully responsible. Once you have taken this decision, Do not look back hereafter. I am inviting you to take this decision today that you are fully responsible for your life. How to eliminate negative emotions? Negative emotions are the only thing coming between you and your fantastic life. If there were no negative emotions, see, nature abhors vacuum. Okay. So if there is no negative emotion, automatically it will be replaced by a positive emotion. So the key to eliminate it is, if you eliminate negative emotions, your subconscious and superconscious powers can get unlocked. Right. Now there is something they call the negative emotion tree, right? And these negative emotions are the fruits of it. It is not just what we have shown here. They say there are 50 plus types of negative emotions. Okay, here are some of them: anger, doubt, self-doubt, fear, resentment, envy, etc., etc. We can go on and on, right? Now, to stop these fruits from growing, you have to first cut out the roots and then cut the trunk also. What are the roots? The roots are justification and identification. You are identifying yourself with all these negative things and you keep justifying it. Every time you keep justifying, oh, you know what to do, like this only, my situation is like this. And the trunk of the tree is blame. So, oh, I'm sorry, right? Right? So, remember that if you want to stop the negative emotions, you have to chop off the roots and cut off the trunk. Stop justification, stop identifying yourself with it, and stop blaming. Right. So, how to release the brakes? Now, all this we have said. Now, how to get going? Stop the blame game. Use I am responsible. There is nobody else to blame, nobody else to talk about for your situation in your life, only you. Initially, it can be difficult, right? Because you are so much in love with your negativity and everything else that you're unwilling to let it go, right? You don't want to give it up. And we have this one, you'll be saying, I'll give up all those things, but just this one thing I cannot give up, right? That one thing that one person said, that one negative emotion or incident, if you do not give up, will cause you to stay in the same place forever. It is like, you have this Mercedes Benz, a very, very powerful car. Everything is perfect except that one wheel is locked. That one wheel is locked. Whatever fantastic car, whatever power you give, it will keep spinning around there only. In other words, all the wheels will spin and you'll keep going in circles. You will stay in the same place forever. Unhappy people have one brake locked on in their life. And the worst of the language is this victim language. What is it? I will try. Just look at it. How many times in our life, in our day-to-day basis, do we say, I will try? Remember, you are either going to do it or not going to do it. That's it. There is no trying. Okay. When you are saying I'm trying, you are keeping the back door open for failure. So eliminate this trying. Eliminate I can't. Eliminate I have to. Eliminate I will do my best or I will try. How to get rid of guilt? Eliminate self-destructive criticism. So do not say anything about yourself that you do not sincerely desire to be true. One. Second, refuse to be manipulated by guilt by others, right? And refuse to use guilt and blame on others. Okay, that's the way to get rid of guilt. More detail in the earlier videos. And there is this law of forgiveness. This is very, very, very important. If you want to give a break to yourself, whatever may have happened in the past, the ability to truly forgive is the real mark of a truly developed superior human being. All great mystics are without anger towards anyone. You can think of Christ, you can think of Mahatma Gandhi. Look at the way they were, how they, forgive, they forgave people, even those who put them to death. So, whom must you forgive? First, your parents. Best to do this when they are alive. Okay. And when you forgive your parents, that is the point when you become emotionally you become an adult. Forgive everyone else around you who has ever hurt you for anything. Okay. When you keep this, if you have, this hurt that you're carrying, somebody did it. If you are carrying it in your mental prison, it's like you are a jailer of that prison and you're chained to that other person. It is not about the other person, it's about you. You are trapped in it. Remember. So forgive everyone else who has ever hurt you and forgive yourself for everything. You may have done stupid things. You may have done all kinds of things in the past. Forgive yourself for it. It does not matter. For every cruel, senseless, brainless, stupid, unkind, wicked, ignorant thing that you've ever done, forgive yourself. And if you have done something to hurt someone else, please go and apologize. Okay? Write a letter to them if you cannot meet them. If necessary, make recompense, whether in physical terms, whatever is required, please do it. And after you have done it, just let it go and be free. Now, the most important part in everything that we have spoken so far is take action. So much that we have spoken about. If you do not take action on it, it will be inspiration and it will just be in your mind. And as days go by, it will just fade away and nothing will happen. Take action. Take action from today. Successful people are action oriented. Remember this. So, coming up next week, we are going to look at the worry buster